Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we're back with another video. Guys, I was right once again as it relates to Tony Buzbee and his co-counsel. Do you guys remember Miss Curis, the young lady whose electronic credential Buzbee had used to file and litigate the lawsuits against Diddy and Jayz? And do you guys remember when I said the judge basically warned Curis not to do so ever again because what she did was basically a violation of court procedural practice, which is a unethical behavior. And she clapped back at the judge, basically saying that the judge was telling a lie on her. Those weren't her exact words, but, based on what she replied, she gave a little sassy attitude, and then at the end of her little sass, she was like, however, I stand corrected. And I said, you cannot behave like that when you're clearly in the wrong. And the judge basically was warning her that such mistakes can prove grave to her reputation, even leading but not limited to sanctions and getting fined. And now the judge is saying, okay, Curis, this is what went on, and these are unethical practice. This is a violation of legal procedures because this shouldn't have happened. And as such, you're ordered here to appear at a sanctioned hearing. So she should appear at this hearing with Tony Buzbee. Now, guys, I'm gonna dive into this updated document because it's not much, but I still want to take you guys through it as to what is happening. If you haven't seen that video that I did before, wherein I called it and I said, ain't no way you can respond to a judge like this after making such a grave mistake. Because when you respond like this, when the judge was basically allowing her to walk away from a mistake, and the judge just needed her to acknowledge that she understands. Like when you get your essay test or that comprehension test, and the teacher will give you a paragraph of guideline and say, this was good, but it could have been better, or this wasn't good. And these are just the little things that made it bad. And then you're going to tell the teacher has no idea what they're talking about. However, you're going to take their advice going forward. So she basically did something like that because she was clearly in the wrong, and there was no way to, even for her to explain herself out of it. The only thing she could have done is to acknowledge that she recklessly trusts Buzbee with her ECF credentials because she has worked with him before. But she didn't even put it that way. She was like, Your Honor, by the way, I've litigated, represented numerous clients on similar cases before, and I've worked as co-counsel for Tony Buzbee before. So for your information, I knew what I was doing, okay? However, I do humbly accept and apologize to this court. So we're at this now. So basically, Mirke Vice Counsel, on March 21st, 2025, the court issued an order denying the motion of Anthony Buzbee for admission pro ac vice in the case, and it has electronic filing. Plaintiff's local counsel, Antigone Curis, filed a letter dated March 24th in response that order ECF the letter. So they're talking about her letter that she had responded with, basically. So the judge is acknowledging her response, right? So the judge is saying in the letter, Ms. Curis represents that she has reviewed all documents in the case and filed them under her ECF because she approved them. And it says letter at, and it's telling you where to locate that letter, right? As the court pointed out in its earlier order, however, Ms. Curis filed on ECF, Mr. Buzbee's pro ac vice application, which include her own affidavit in which she states she at least I am advised by Mr. Buzbee that he has never been censored, suspended, disbarred on, or denied admission or readmission by any court. So it says emphasis added. So here they have Mr. Curis, I think they mean Miss, simultaneously filed as part of Curis, who represents in her letter that she reviewed and approved all documents before filing them on ECF filed, and document that directly contradicts her own affidavit. So the judge is saying that she is lying to the court, basically. The judge is saying there's even evidence that she's lying to the court because Tony Buzbee has never been approved for a PROAC VC, never been suspended, never been disbarred, never been denied. So it's not as though there was such a document that existed wherein Tony Buzbee had previously applied for a PROAC VC and he got one and it was suspended, barred, denied, or anything like that, where she could say, well, actually, I saw something that looked like a PROAC VC, but I didn't look to see if it was barred, suspended, or denied. So Vice Counsel is saying here, what's your excuse? Because he never had any submission of the sort, and you signed a sworn affidavit saying you reviewed everything. So that means you're telling a lie, because when we check, we're not seeing any application before your submission. So you're lying. And then not only are you lying, you basically are violating legal protocols, which is an insult to the court, and your license is in jeopardy, because the judge had wondered that your actions are, basically much valid for sanctions, but not limited to. So the judge is saying the court can do more than, sanction you. We can also fine and also disbar you, basically. So in her response, she responded strongly, and the judge is saying, oh, you're calling us a liar? Well, let me state to you. And the judge is saying, Buzbee has never been censored, suspended, disbarred, or denied admission or readmission by any court. Emphasis added, Ms. Curis simultaneously filed as part of Curis, who represents in her letter that she reviewed. So the judge is basically saying, ain't no way you could review it, but you signed a sworn affidavit saying you review it. And as such, the judge is saying, accordingly, it is hereby ordered that Ms. Curis shall show cause why she should not be sanctioned for making false or misleading representation to the court. The parties shall appear. So the parties, which means that Buzbee has to appear at the sanction hearing as well. So, or if they don't have Mr. Curis incorrect right here, it means that her and Buzbee, but I think Buzbee has to appear at this hearing as well, right? So basically, the judge is saying the parties, they have to appear at this sanction hearing for making false, misleading representation to the court. The parties shall appear for a hearing on this order to show cause on April 14th, 2025 at 11 a.m. All parties and their counsel are on notice that failure to comply with court order, all applicable rules and professional ethical obligation may result in sanctions. So ordered. So, this means that Buzbee is not going to be out of the hot waters, because if Curis is being notified to attend a hearing for sanction, Buzbee has to apply at this hearing as well. It means that Buzbee is going to face some legal blow. He's about to face some legal blow. I'm not sure what the court is going to do. But if anyone has been keeping up with my channel, you guys know that I've been calling it back to back consistently. I've been calling it since December, but I know that oftentimes when people don't hear, or when you don't say what people want to hear, they tend to not follow because they're like, oh my God, you don't believe in victims. I do believe in victims. I just don't believe in fake accusers. And there's a difference between a victim and a fake accuser. A victim is someone who has been proven to be a victim, whether by winning a lawsuit or by DNA evidence or any other electronic evidence or such. So just to let you guys know that I do in fact believe in victims, but not all accusers are victims, and that's where the difference is. But thank you guys so much for your time, your patience, and your energy. Stay safe, stay blessed, and see you guys in the comment section. Peace.